Welcome back to the Explainer. So over our last 3 sessions, we really dug into Tinter, PyQt, and Kivy, building a pretty comprehensive picture of how Python handles traditional desktop and mobile apps. And well, if you've been following along, you've probably noticed a common theme. Building standard user interfaces can be, quite frankly, incredibly tedious. You know the drill. Wrestling with event loops, calculating clunky widget placements, and writing mountains of boilerplate code just to get a basic window to pop up. But today we're closing out our Gooby development block by introducing Streamlit. And guys, this is a completely different beast entirely. It's a revolutionary package that lets you build interactive data apps straight in your web browser using literally nothing but simple Python scripts. By the end of the session, you're going to see exactly why this tool has completely taken the data science world by storm, turning what used to be days of painful development into just minutes of pure coding joy. Okay, let's take a quick look at today's agenda. We're going to cover a totally different GUI paradigm, top-to-bottom execution, native data science integration, caching and session state, instant web deployment, and finally, how to choose the right tool for your next project. All right, let's dive right into Section 1, a different GUI paradigm, and how we're escaping the event loop. To really get why Streamlit is such a game changer, we first got to talk about the headaches we're leaving behind. Traditional GUI frameworks kind of force you into this complex, event-driven model. Think back to tkinter and PyQt. You have to think in a really fragmented way, right? You're explicitly defining windows, meticulously mapping out grid coordinates, and manually wiring up dozens of event handlers just so a simple button click actually does something. It is exhausting. Streamlit completely flips the script. It lets you write what looks exactly like a normal top-to-bottom Python file, but behind the scenes, the framework automatically converts that exact code directly into a fully interactive web page. And here is the absolute best part. It does the whole shebang without requiring you to write or even understand a single line of HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. So no more spending 3 hours frantically Googling how to vertically center a div. You just write Python and it just works. Moving on to Section 2, top-to-bottom execution, and how this actually works under the hood. Let's make this super concrete. Building an app with Streamlit is literally a 3-step process. First, you just install the package using pip. Next, you write a standard Python script using really straightforward declarative functions. For example, you type st.title to instantly get a beautiful formatted heading. You use st.write to drop in text or st.button for a clickable element. I honestly can't overstate how satisfying it feels to type st.title, my app, and instantly watch a modern web interface materialize. And finally, step 3, you jump into your terminal and type Streamlit run followed by your file name. The second you hit enter, a local server spins up and automatically opens a fully interactive web app right there in your default browser. The feedback loop is instant. Now, instead of wiring up all those tangled event handlers we talked about earlier, Streamlit does something kind of wild. It simply reruns your entire script from the very top every single time a user interacts with the page. The framework gives you this massive toolkit of built-in interactive widgets. You can drop in an st.slider to grab a number, an st.select box for a clean drop-down menu, or even an st.file uploader so user can hand you a massive CSV file. But here's the real magic. Each widget directly returns its current state as an ordinary Python variable. You literally just assign it and use it on the very next line. Let's do a quick mental exercise here. Imagine a user drags a slider from 10 up to 50. In Streamlit, your code just runs again from line 1. Automatically sees the new variable value as 50, instantly updates your math, and dynamically repaints only the parts of the web page that needs change. Which brings us perfectly to Section 3, native data science integration, or as I like to call it, the perfect synergy. This execution model is brilliantly tailored for data science. Streamlit has these native, built-in functions designed specifically to effortlessly display your data. Got a pandas DataFrame from our earlier blocks? You just pass it into st.DataFrame. But it doesn't just print static text. It automatically renders a gorgeous, interactive table complete with column sorting and scrolling right out of the box. That alone would take you days to manually program and tinker. Got a Matplotlib or Plotly chart? Just hand it to st.pyplot or st.plotlychart. It even has its own built-in charting for instantaneous visualizations. Imagine taking an XGBoost model we trained earlier, letting a user upload fresh data, dynamically filtering it with a slider, and rendering a full dashboard. You're doing in maybe 20 lines of code what would easily take hundreds anywhere else. All right, Section 4, caching and session state. Let's solve some of the gotchas.
Okay, so if the script is rerunning entirely from the top every single time a user clicks a button or adjusts a slider, you're probably asking yourself a very practical question right now. Wouldn't expensive operations needlessly and wastefully repeat themselves? Think about it. If you're loading a 5 GB neural network into memory, you absolutely do not want your user staring at a frozen browser for 10 seconds every single time they click a simple checkbox.
Well, Streamlit hit the nail on the head here with a brilliant fix, the @stream.cache_data decorator. Now, a decorator in Python, that's the little @ symbol, is just a way to wrap and modify the behavior of a function. And this actually mirrors those caching principles we covered back in our Redis explainer. By just slapping this decorator right above the function that, say, downloads your massive CSV, Streamlit ensures that heavy computation only ever runs once. On every subsequent rerun triggered by a widget, Streamlit completely bypasses that expensive operation and instantly grabs the previously stored output. That is the secret sauce that makes these top-to-bottom apps feel lightning fast.
But wait, there's another hurdle. Because variables are redefined on every rerun, what if you actually need to remember something a user clicked 5 steps ago? For those more advanced stateful applications, Streamlit gives us st.sessionState. This acts like a reliable memory bank for your script. It lets you store persistent values that survive across multiple reruns. A perfect example of this today is a chat history. If you're building a front end for a large language model, which Streamlit is incredibly famous for, by the way, you absolutely have to remember the previous questions the user asked. Session state holds on to that context perfectly while the rest of the page updates around it.
Section 5. Instant Web Deployment. Time to share your work. So, your app looks amazing locally, but how do you actually share it? Imagine trying to hand a raw Python script to a marketing director, asking them to set up virtual environments and debug package versions on their laptop. Yeah, total disaster. Instead, you train your model, build a sleek Streamlit app for their inputs, and deploy it to the web. Streamlit has a free hosting service called Streamlit Community Cloud. You literally just link it to your GitHub repo, and it automatically builds and deploys your app in minutes. Then you just hand your colleagues a standard web URL. It is so much easier than the highly involved deployment stuff we covered earlier in the series. Almost at the finish line. Section 6. Choosing the right tool and a look at the complete GUI landscape. Think of this timeline as your ultimate cheat sheet so you never pick the wrong tool for the job. Need a basic, built-in desktop tool? Stick to Tkinder. Building a highly polished, professional, installable desktop app? Reach for PyQt or PySide. Want a touch-friendly mobile app that works across different operating systems? Kivy is your go-to. But absolutely rely on Streamlit whenever your primary goal is rapidly prototyping and sharing a quick, interactive, browser-based data dashboard. It's a highly specialized, incredibly powerful tool built specifically to give your data a beautiful home on the web. And that officially wraps up our GUI block. It has been an awesome journey taking our code from the command line to the desktop to mobile and finally to the interactive web. Next time on The Explainer, we're kicking off our 15th block. We're shifting gears into the incredibly exciting world of APIs and data interchange, starting with Python's built-in JSON library, a format we've mentioned before and one that's just absolutely essential for modern development. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. The gap between a raw dataset and a globally accessible interactive web application has, quite frankly, never been smaller. If a simple top-to-bottom Python script is all it takes, there are virtually zero barriers left keeping your insights hidden on your local machine. So what's stopping you from sharing your data with the world today? Make sure you're subscribed because we still have 30 more powerful Python packages to unpack together. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep building, and I'll see you in the next one.